I'm the horror movie guy with,
The horror movie uncle.
and in today's video, we're going to be talking about two Thanksgiving themed horror movies that we've watched today.
Yeah, so we watched Black Friday from 2021, and we also watched Thanksgiving from 2023. So we're going to be doing a review of both of those movies. So we'll start with Black Friday from 2021. So Black Friday from 2021 is directed by Casey Tebow and written by Andy Grezkowiak, and stars Devon Sawa, uh, Ivan Basquero, and Bruce Campbell.
Devon Sawa, you might know from Final Destination and the Child's Play Chucky series.
And if you're on this channel, you probably know
Yeah.
who Bruce Campbell is, of course, from
Ash.
the Evil Dead, Army of Darkness, of course, and a million other horror
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the basic plot of Black Friday is, there is a Black Friday sale at a toy store. I think it's sort of meant to be sort of like Toys R Us type place, which it's called We Love Toys. And Devon Sawa and some other young actors and everybody work at the toy store, and they're going in for their Black Friday sale. So what happens is that some of the shoppers are infected by sort of zombies or zombie aliens. Yeah, it's kind of I think it is meant to be more like they're aliens.
Yeah, because kind of just like, it's not really if you get like, I mean, if you get bit, like, you still kind of turn into, if you still get like bit or scratched, you turn into one. But there's like this alien kind of like goo or like pink thing.
Yeah, they sort of shoot it out their mouth, and then it hits you, and then so then you turn into, one of them, sort of. And it's this is a really fun movie. There's not that many horror movies that take place, in and around Thanksgiving. So this movie from 2021, it's very interesting because I had not heard of this movie until last year. I did not hear that this movie had come out in 2021, even though, I mean, it has Devon Sawa and Bruce Campbell, and even Michael Jai White is actually in this movie. You guys might know Michael Jai White. He played Spawn in the 1990s version of Spawn, that live action movie. And he's really good in this movie too. But yeah, so it sort of turns into a little bit of like a zombie survival type movie. It's got shades of like
Shaun of the Dead.
Hey! Go for the head.
Shaun of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, that type of thing. Especially since it's in sort of like a store environment, it's very much similar to sort of Dawn of the Dead, like it's in a mall, except it's in a store. It's very, I think it's a very fun movie. It's definitely more of a horror comedy. Black Friday is.
Oh yeah.
But there's some really good special effects in it. I think a lot of the effects are practical effects. There's definitely some CGI in there too, but a lot of the effects are really practical, done with makeup and everything. And I think even some of the minor characters are actually some pretty good acting all around.
Yeah.
And Devon Sawa, you can't really go wrong with Devon Sawa and Bruce Campbell.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, this movie, it was my first time seeing it. I thought it was really, really good, really funny. I would probably give it like a 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm gonna give Black Friday. I'm gonna say 7.5 out of 10
Yeah,
for Black Friday.
definitely still a great movie. Just
Yeah,
maybe a
and
few
you can
minor
watch it
things.
on Amazon Prime right now if you guys have Amazon Prime. Uh, so yeah, check it out.
Yeah. All right, and now we have Thanksgiving from 2023.
Yeah, directed by Eli Roth, written by Eli Roth and Jeff Rendell. So this has sort of an interesting story behind how this movie got made. So if some of you older horror fans were around back in the mid 2000s, you might have remembered uh, a movie called Grindhouse. Now, for those of you who don't know, Grindhouse was a double feature movie that was made by Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez. Now, Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez made two movies. Uh, Quentin Tarantino made the movie Death Proof, and Robert Rodriguez made the movie Planet Terror. Planet Terror is kind of like a zombie movie, and then Death Proof is sort of like a car chase movie. So they made these two movies. They put them together as one movie, Grindhouse, and then Planet Terror played first, and then in between Planet Terror and Death Proof, they played these fake trailers. Now, these fake trailers were directed by, famous directors at the time and also, friends of Tarantino and Rodriguez. So these fake trailers were done by Rob Zombie, um,
Eli Roth.
Eli Roth, and Edgar Wright, who directed Shaun of the Dead. So Eli Roth's fake trailer was this thing called Thanksgiving. And it was obviously meant to be sort of an homage to Halloween and everything. So it was just literally like this 2.5 minute, 3 minute thing, and it wasn't really ever meant to be like a feature film or anything. It was just a 2.5 minute fake trailer. But Eli Roth always said that he thought it would make a good movie.
And it did.
So yeah, literally, over 15 years later, 2007, 2023, finally makes uh, the feature film version of Thanksgiving.
And kind of a basic like plot rundown of Thanksgiving. It's about like the holiday Thanksgiving. Like first like half an hour of the movie is Black Friday.
Yeah,
Where there's a giant Black Friday like sale at this store.
it's called Right Mart. It's meant to be like Walmart.
Yeah, it's everything kind of goes wrong. A bunch of people die. It's
Yeah,
a whole massacre, and then we skip a year later, and it's kind of a like I know what you did last summer plus like Scream, who
yeah,
done it, like because murders keep happening,
yeah.
and it's like connected back to the Black Friday.
Yeah, it's connected back to the previous year's Black Friday massacre, which so pretty much all of the people who are killed were involved in some way or another to the massacre that occurred the previous year. And they're all being killed by this guy in a pilgrim costume, and he's wearing a mask. It's John Carver, who this takes place in the town of Plymouth, Massachusetts, which Plymouth Rock was actually the place where the Pilgrims landed back in the 1600s, and that's where the first Thanksgiving actually took place. John Carver was one of the people there. So the killer wears a John Carver mask, and he's dressed up as a pilgrim, with like a pilgrim hat and everything. And he uses like axes and everything to kill people.
This movie stars the great Patrick Dempsey. That's probably maybe one of the only like big stars you might know.
Well, you guys might know Gina Gershon if you guys are older fans. She was in a bunch of movies in the '90s, Face Off,
Oh yeah.
and a bunch of other movies. but yeah, it's mostly younger, more less well known actors because it's very much like Scream. It's sort of like a teen
Yeah.
oriented film.
Patrick Dempsey kind of plays like the Dewey kind of character of like
The
the
cop,
sheriff
yeah.
cop. Patrick Dempsey, if you watch Grey's Anatomy, plays Dr. Derek Shepard.
McDreamy.
Acceptable to McDreamy.
Don't McDreamy me.
Definitely would. Or Enchanted.
Patrick Dempsey. Patrick Dempsey was actually in Scream 3
He was.
as well. So horror fans would know.
He plays Sydney's kind of love interest cop.
Also a cop in that as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that this movie Thanksgiving is such a really great, fun movie because, like I said previously, there aren't that many horror films that take place on Thanksgiving. And Eli Roth sort of saw that horror fans needed something to watch on Thanksgiving. And because this is a big budget Hollywood movie with some decent sized stars in it and everything. And so this came out last year around this time.
We the horror movie Uncle did a short 1-minute review right after getting out of the theater.
Yeah. And I really liked it. And it did pretty well in the theater. Well enough that Eli Roth is considering making a sequel to it. So, but yeah. So this movie has just got some great kills. I will say that this movie is probably not for the more squeamish people. It is incredibly violent. Especially for like a slasher movie, it does not hold back on the violence at all.
Especially the like Black Friday like opening scene that I was not expecting.
Yeah. And for those of you who are familiar with the original 2007 trailer from Grindhouse, you will notice that there are several scenes in this movie that are taken directly from that trailer. And what Eli Roth said about this movie is that within the context of this movie is meant to be a remake of the movie that trailer was for back from Grindhouse. So take that for what it is. It's kind of a fun little note.
Yeah. So overall, I'd probably give this like a 9.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. You know what? I've seen this a couple of times since I saw this in the theater. I think originally my original rating was 8 out of 10 for this. I think I'm going to come up to a 9 out of 10 for this. I think that this is definitely something that I can see myself watching every single year around this time. Actually, both these movies, just because they're just so much fun, really. Black Friday, Thanksgiving, it's just a really good double feature to do around this time if you guys are horror fans. And you know what? Neither of these movies are very long. Black Friday is only about an hour and 20 minutes. Thanksgiving is only about an hour and 45.
Yeah, I mean, we watched this in like at night, so like three and a half hours probably.
Something like that. And we actually took a break in between, so you guys can knock these out in this weekend or next weekend, Thanksgiving weekend, very easily. And Thanksgiving, this Thanksgiving from 2023 is on Netflix if you guys want to check that out. So both of these movies are very easy to find on streaming, and you probably won't have to pay if you guys have, Prime or Netflix. Very easy to find these movies. And if you don't have any of that, you can probably rent them for pretty cheap as well.
Yeah. Well, this is it. These are our two like kind of Thanksgiving recommendation horror movies for you guys to watch over these next couple of weeks. Comment if there's any more Thanksgiving movies that you think we should review.
There aren't that many more.
Well,
So you can comment if you can think of more.
Yeah.
I know that there's a movie called Thanksgiving that I've never seen, but if you have seen it, comment about that.
So yeah, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Thanks for watching, and bye.
Bye.